People are going to be real mad at me when I say this. I believe in day 2 of the Diddy trial, they made a compelling argument that Diddy is a nasty, perverted freak. But proving that he's running a criminal organization, I feel like the prosecutors have not. They haven't had a strong case, and maybe it's just me and people feel differently. But I feel like Tiffany Red, Cassie's best friend, explains it better into why this was a whole criminal organization, because Cassie was making music that was never going to come out. Let's go ahead and play the intro and then we'll get right into it, you guys. Please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be right back. All right. So, for those of you who don't know who Tiffany Red is a singer songwriter. She recently written for Carrie Hilson. Carrie Hilson has a new song out, by the way. And Tiffany went viral about a year ago when she first was speaking out after the Cassie lawsuit, because she had firsthand knowledge. She witnessed Cassie being abused, being drugged up. Like, these are things that she witnessed with her own 2 eyes. Now, I don't know if she's a part of the investigation or if she's going to testify to as well. Tiffany has not shared that. I know Tiffany herself had said that she was going to sue Diddy, but nothing has came about it. Now, I do want to say this. Cassie took the stand today, and Tiffany had this to say. So let's go ahead and pull this up and do a live review on it.
My chest is like warm.
So right there, the U.S. attorneys had asked, how many songs did you write while with Sean, talking about Diddy? And she says hundreds of songs. So this was music that had never came out. So this was the point that they were trying to say, like, hey, she worked for Diddy. She was supposed to have a 10-album deal. She only came out with 1 album. Nothing ever came of it. And then Tiffany, why she's attached to this was because she was one of the writers that wrote for Cassie, and none of those songs had ever came out. And mind you, none of them ever got paid for it. All the songwriters, producers, they never got any money. Well, at least Tiffany didn't.
That man had so many of us working. And like, as she said earlier in her testimony, she was in a 10-album deal. So there's no reason for anybody who was writing or producing for her to ever believe that they were working on a project that wasn't going to come out, because she had a record deal and had already had hits. She was signed to Bad Boy, and she had one of the biggest names in the game behind her, which was Diddy. The reality is he used us to trick her without us even knowing. I didn't know. How would I know? And why would I spend the prime time of my songwriting career writing for a project that wasn't going to come out? How does that make sense? It doesn't. Everybody was working on that project. I remember one time being at the studio with Cass and just like sitting there and going through her hard drive and pulling up different records from just so many different people. I mean, she worked with everyone. Who would work with everyone on something that's not coming out? Nobody. That doesn't make sense. Cassie has so much incredible music that y'all never heard. So far beyond anything that I wrote. She recorded music for years and years and years and years and years. And I see a narrative in the comment sections and some of these, the people reporting on the shit. I see like, she was fame hungry. No, she was a an artist who had already had a hit record, who was excited about her career. Like, let's not forget that Cass was signed to Next Selection, which was Ryan Leslie's company, and he's the one who did Me and You, and he did that joint venture with Bad Boy, and Me and You was released and the song went crazy. Like, let's not treat this like she was some groupie, because she wasn't. She was an artist. Ooh, it's day 2 and this shit's already pissing me off. My chest is like warm.
All right, so I want to go ahead and give my commentary on this because a lot of people have said, well, Cassie was just around and she just wanted the attention. She was just there for the money, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, Cassie's first album was actually with Ryan Leslie, who was her boyfriend at the time. And I'm curious to see if Ryan Leslie is going to testify too. This was during the time she had got signed with Bad Boy, and she was still with Ryan, and he was the boyfriend at the time that Diddy was trying to get away from, get Cassie away from. Remember that? That was listed in the initial lawsuit with Cassie. So with that being said, then this turned into, oh, I just want you for a relationship. I just want you for these freak off events or freak off parties, whatever you want to call them. I just want you for my sexual fantasy, which this in turn more or less shows like, okay, Diddy promised you a career. He promised that he's going to put out music, and none of that was ever coming out. He had no plan to put her music out. Now, I feel like the prosecutors aren't making that strong of an argument, as well as Tiffany just put it. Tiffany is saying, we all worked on this stuff. We all worked on this music, all the producers, everybody, just for it not to come out. And we never knew. And she says that she feels guilty because she feels a part of the whole plot, because if she had known, she wouldn't have even been involved in it. Because who creates music to never put it out, or for it to never see the light of day? And that also lets me know that Cassie was under the impression like, okay, my music finally is going to come out one day. Like one day I'm going to have my new music out there, because she had the one album, which Ryan Leslie produced the whole thing. And then after that, there was nothing else. And I think that's very important to show, because this is still an employee-manager situation. There's a power dynamic in this where Cassie felt, all right, I really want my career. I have to do this in order to have my career. I feel like a lot of the arguments that were made today was more or less show Cassie she went along with it, but we're not sure if she really said, hey, I don't want to do it. Now, she did say that she felt uncomfortable, or she felt like she had to please him. But I was just wanting to hear more about, okay, no, I had to do this in order for my career to go to the next level, or I felt like he wouldn't allow my music to come out. I did this, like more of like what it kept her from doing, rather than, Diddy made me do X, Y, and Z. Because now the argument, because she hasn't been examined yet by the defense, I feel like the argument they're going to make is, well, Cassie wanted this. She played a role, she was the aggressor and all this other stuff, which at the end of the day, even if Cassie did, quote unquote, want it, technically this was her employer who did not put out her music and had her in some kind of contract where they weren't using the company funds to do what they're supposed to be doing. They're using the company's money to supply and throw these freak off parties. That's basically what it was. Now that is the crime right there. And I feel like not enough focus is being put on that. It's more or less about the freaky stuff that we done heard, right? But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about Tiffany saying, like, basically, we did all this stuff for Cassie's career in this music and nothing ever came out. Let me know how you feel about the Diddy trial. Today is day 2. If you're watching this, the next day is probably day 3 for some of y'all. But let me know what you guys think about everything. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for watching, but we out of here, y'all. Deuces, everybody.